What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Well, welcome back to Beyond the 90. We've got a very special video for you today. Are you still buzzing from the Liverpool performance? I know I am. In this video, we're going to be looking at 5 points that you might have missed from the Liverpool game. This is 5 points that I think we need to build on. Hopefully, we can take this. I know we've said it loads of times before and build this going forward. We're going to look at formations. We're looking at tactics. We're going to be looking at some of the defending and the corners and the set pieces as well. We're going to be looking at specific players that I think really impressed me in this game as well. If you enjoy this kind of videos, it takes a little bit longer to do than live streams. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Apart from that, let's get into the video. So the first thing we're going to look at is the formation. So we set up with a 4-3-1-2 formation, which kind of was a 4-4-2 diamond. Out of possession, we're looking at a 4-2-3-1. So here you can see Alexander-Arnold is just on the side with the ball. Again, apologies for the pixelation. This is as good as I could get it. And you can see your banks here. You've got your 4 at the back, and then you've got your 3, and then Maddison playing that kind of cam role with Vardy and Iheanacho up there as well. When we play this formation, this 3 in front, because you've got these 4, and Daniel Amartey and Ndidi were really good in this game. However, it's not strong enough to stop them. And with Ndidi, as we know, coming into that centre-back role, you're going to need protection. So these, I think, Hams had a great game. Dewsbury Hall dropped him fantastically, and also Samore. These 3 did fantastic work, and I just want to push on this a little bit more. So we've looked at it from a throw-in for Alexander-Arnold. Now we're going to look at another formation. So obviously, similar formation. You can see your 4 here, and you can see your 3 in the middle with Maddison just heading up, just so we can provide that passing up to Vardy and Nacho. However, obviously, Tsimikas has got the ball here. What's brilliant is that this 3, Hamza comes with him and was doing it a lot, doubling up. So we got player for player with Castagna and not allowing the ball to be swung in. It was really, really good play here. Again, your man marking each. Daniel Amartey had a great time against Salah, and obviously I know Luke Thomas is. But again, what was brilliant again with Ndidi coming out of this ball is it allows us to have that defensive solidity because we know how strong Liverpool are. So again, they're really drilled in this formation. Even though they had 2 days against Man City, I think this worked fantastically. So again, as we were mentioning with this 4-3-1-2 formation, here you can see a little bit more. Again, the other one was 7 minutes. This is 41, 42 minutes. You can see the same kind of thing happening. Tsimikas was getting a lot of work down this left-hand side. Chowdhury was doing a lot of this work, covering in, helping out, because again, in marking Jota. Timothy Castagne getting tight, not letting him that much to get the ball in. But what you can see here is that they're not touch tight, but they're all in a small area, which allows, we know we're not great in the air, but having this many bodies, and especially with the height of Ndidi and the jump of Ndidi, Samore, who's got a bit of height, Amartey, who, again, heading everything out the box. Filling the box with these number of tall physical players allowed Leicester to just get the ball out of the danger zone a lot more. And again, one of the reasons why I think this formation worked fantastically. So the next thing we're going to look at is Leicester's old friend, defending set corners. I know we've been so bad before this game. We've been in the same problems over and over again. But in this, it kind of worked. It wasn't perfect. Liverpool weren't that great at set pieces like they were before. However, I think there's some few important things to point out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some specific examples. We've got a lot of examples because there was 12 corners in total. And we managed to win, I think, nearly half of them, which was good. We'll get into some of the specifics right now. So we'll look at the first position. This was something that we've seen time and time again. Alexander-Arnold, again, we know how good he is at crossing. I think everybody in the Premier League knows how good of a cross with the ball he is. The ball is up here at the moment. As you can see, something different that we've not seen before. Dewsbury Hall was on this post for this corner, and then Chowdhury dropped in and was partly on this one. We'll see a lot more of that as well. Something you'll see as well is that we were playing the centre-backs against each other. So Wilfred Ndidi was against Van Dijk, and Daniel Amartey was against Joel Matip as well. So they were playing man for man. It was a hybrid system, but it was more man to man. We'll get into that a little bit later. But as you can see from this position, it seemed like they've matched up side to side, which we've not seen from Brendan Rodgers' team so far. So this is from another corner. Tsimikas was taking it. As you can see, it's more of a bird eye view, which I taught this formation. But again, Chowdhury on one post, Dewsbury Hall another, and Vardy taking up this middle spot. But if we look in the centre here, we'll look at some of the when the actual header comes into the balls. However, you can see the man on man marking. Again, I think this is I'm not sure who this is actually, but Ndidi and so they're marking each other. There's one man for every single person in this middle of the box. These guys will then all roll into the center. I think Levin is Salah on Luke Thomas as well. Every person has a man that they're going to mark. I think this is Joel Matip and Ndidi, Jota, and I can't see other. It might be Castagna, and then Mane and Samari as well. So again, they're going man for man. There is still positions like this, and if they do lose their man, you've still got somebody like Chowdhury or somebody like Dewsbury Hall, and then the savings, the shot stopping of Kasper Schmeichel as well. So as the ball comes in from Tsimikas, you can see the position that they finally move into, which is again a lot higher towards this danger area that we know that we are threatening. What's brilliant in this one, we are winning the headers. This header needs to be won when it's this close to the goal. When all it needs is a little head from one of the anyone in the box, and that's going in the back of the net. What helps, you got Dewsbury Hall and Chowdhury there again to support them, but the fact is, with this, we were winning the majority of the headers in this case. So as Daniel Amartey won that header, it comes out, it comes over to Henderson, who then hits it over the bar. But even then, you've got that cover with Schmeichel beaten. The ball was going, but you've again, with the ball coming over to that corner, you've got Chowdhury there just as cover, just in case, which, as you can tell, is only going to be a positive thing for us. It's hopefully something we'll implement a little bit more. I think I like the way that we've defended corners from this example. So here's another example in the second half. As you can see, Dewsbury Hall taking up this position. Chowdhury has come off, so I think this is Luke Thomas or Michael Brighton. I can't tell from this angle. Apologies. Yeah, I've tried to do the best I could at the moment. And then you've got, again, individual battles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of these people picking up who they're supposed to and getting into good positions. No, not zonal marking, because Liverpool have done their research for this game. Bearing in mind they had a week to prepare since they played us last, while we had to play Man City as well. So there wasn't a lot of time. However, this small difference of allowing us to defend and allowing us to play basically one man-to-man football did help us out in this game. Yes, it did help that Liverpool weren't that great at set pieces, but I think we went fantastically, and we'll show you in another slide what I think as well. So this is the same corner, similar time, just a couple of seconds later. So we can see, I think it was Milner on the corners, but coming into this box, what was really impressive, again, not just winning your individual battles, but not letting them get their head on the ball. Castagna comes in and he's clearing the ball straight out, which is a great sign. I think that's one thing, as much as I'm impressed with the corners, we need to be winning as many headers as possible. We need to get in there and potentially get somebody that just likes winning headers. This was an example of we beat the man and then we've just got the ball out of there, which is great to see. And again, Dewsbury Hall's ready on the line if anything happens. Whoever this is on this would have been on the post, but they pushed out slightly as well. So individual battles, you see, again, we're looking at the likes of Matip here, Amartey. So again, the centre back on the centre back. Wilfred Ndidi on Van Dijk as well, and then Mane on Samori as well. So they've picked their battles and they've sized up the right opponent for the right time. I think Salah was on, Luke Thomas was on the floor at the time, but this is the intent. They're wanting to defend. Just a final screenshot from here as well. Again, this is 85 minutes in. Liverpool have 7 corners at the end. They had 12 corners, but again, Dewsbury Hall on the post. You can see a formation, so they're picking their battles. I remember, so Amartey has walked straight up to Joel Matip, goes, "You're mine." Thomas has picked up Salah, so every person knows what they're doing. Castagna's picking up Jota. Samore, I think, is going to pick up Mane. And then Van Dijk's picking up Ndidi as well. So everybody knows their formation. Liverpool did have an off game, but the fact that some basic things, like we've managed to size up the 2 centre-backs against our 2 biggest people. We're not leaving ourselves exposed. And also, as this ball's coming in, we're defending it fantastically. So the third thing we look into is a player that I can't get enough of. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Phenomenal performance. We're going to look at some of his defensive, some of his defensive work. So he's attacking one player, and the third point, one of the players that I can't get enough of watching, and on replay, it was a joy to see him. His first season in the Premier League, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. He had an unbelievable performance today. It was up there with man of the match. For me, Amartey was there, Schmeichel was there, but I think Kiernan Dewsbury Hall just tips it. We're going to look at some of his work, some of his build-up play, and again, getting the assist, which we'll look into in a little bit as well. So we'll get straight into it. So again, we showed you in the beginning picture when we were playing the 4-3-1-2 formation, that 3 he was tucking right the way back with Samore, with Chowdhury in that first half, and sitting back. However, in this position, again, the screenshot's a little bit blurry, it's the best I could get it. Iheanacho is here. The ball from Luke Thomas has come over the top, and Dewsbury Hall has made an amazing run along this side to get in a position to try and set up Jamie Vardy. Another one as well that I've not got a screenshot of. As soon as one thing that to mention as well, when we got the penalty save, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall drove past a couple of players and tried to set up Jamie Vardy for that finish. When we've just saved a penalty, completely breaking Liverpool by surprise. He did phenomenally well. But this is an example, coming back to this, where Kiernan was playing a lot higher. He was playing back in defense a lot more, but the work rate and the engine on him is absolutely phenomenal. Again, he's wanting to take risks where you've not got Maddison, you've got Nacho not falling behind a little bit. In this example, I still thought he had a fantastic game. However, Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, again, picking up an advanced position where even the likes of Alexander Arnold couldn't keep up with him. Another position as well. This is him, again, when we're talking about the 4-2-3, 4-3-1-2, coming back, doing the dirty work, covering for Luke Thomas, so again, standing in this position. Dewsbury Hall then comes in and then takes the ball forward. We know how good Salah is, and he was trying to nibble at his heels, but even then, Kiernan went this way, and then ended up passing it to Chowdhury and breaking out of trouble. He's breaking up a play, and when he's under the pressure, he doesn't fall. He keeps going, and Luton fans have been telling us how amazing he is, and we've seen him go leaps and bounds as he's come into the Premier League. So that was the first half, but in the second half, he upped his levels even more. So this was breaking off from a counter-attack. He was playing magnificently down this left-hand side. We changed to like a 4-3-3, but I think we're still playing this 4-4-2 diamond at this period of time. However, he was picking up this position on this left-hand side, which, again, is not easy, looking at the likes of, obviously, Trent is there, Fabinho is there, Joel Matip is there, and he got past them a few of the times. So when we're breaking out, we've got Maddison and Vardy there as well. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall was there ready to go and was taking players on and getting past them with ease. It was beautiful to watch. Another example of Kiernan Dewsbury Hall as well, taking up this left position in the second half, bringing the ball in, playing a nice 1-2 with Iheanacho. We're looking at the next screenshot. But again, you're looking at the players that are trying to close him down. Jordan Henderson, Fabinho. You're looking at, obviously, Matip trying to close in the space. Iheanacho was there. Alexander Arnold was there. You've got a lot of players around them, and he didn't phase him whatsoever, taking up this left position. Bearing in mind, he's not a winger. He is a centre mid, but he can play so many different positions. He's so versatile that even in this position with these four players, we know the Gegenpress of Liverpool's team and how well Jurgen Klopp's team press. He managed to break this, and this is the result. After that, you've then seen, again, a nice 1-2 from Kelechi Iheanacho. This was the point where I think it was Tsimikas just held the ball up. This pass doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion. Just so he started it in his own half, came this way, the 1-2 with Iheanacho. Even though Iheanacho is supposed to be that number 10 as well as Maddison and that playmaker, it doesn't stop Dewsbury Hall from playing the 1-2 and getting past him. Again, he's bearing in mind in the last screenshot, he's ahead of Alexander Arnold, who couldn't cope with him. Then he puts in a beautiful cross, and it was just blocked out by Tsimikas. But again, we'll look at some of the Dewsbury Hall stuff a little bit later as well. But what a player and what a performance all round. He covered so much ground, and this performance and this bit shows it perfectly. Coming up this left-hand side and then whipping the ball in for Vardy. And he's just unlucky that Vardy couldn't get on the end of it because of a good block. So again, massive shout out to KGH. Had a fantastic game. And he's also going to be mentioned in the next part, which is the goal. Obviously, we know how the goal, we've seen it again and again. I've been watching it again and again. But Dewsbury has a massive part to play. But we're going to mention both of them, him and Lookman, their desire, their pressing. We'll look at that right now. So the ball starts here from Luke Thomas. Again, he had Salah for the majority of the times on a plate. Then a simple pass over to Lookman. So Lookman, bearing in mind, is just coming into the beginning of the halfway line at this time. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall is coming over this right-hand side. Henderson's like, well, you can pick him up, but he's not going to get anywhere near him. Again, Alexander Arnold, as good as he is going forward in his crossing, he can't really defend as well. But he's pointing at Jordan Henderson is pointing at him, make sure you get him. But he doesn't get it. A bit of awesome trickery from Ademola Lookman leads to this next phase. So after he holds it up for a period of time, he then gives it over and takes 3 players out of the game. Dewsbury Hall is left wide open. Alexander Arnold has a lot of ground to make up, but this is not enough work. Even that's a fantastic amount of work for Lookman. In this position, everybody's looking. You see Van Dijk is pointing at Vardy going, look, he's the guy you got to sort out. Maddison is also up here as well. But again, Dewsbury Hall down this left-hand side in the second half was fantastic, but it's not enough for Lookman to do this position. He wants more. So after driving with it for some time, you can then see Kiernan Dewsbury Hall after playing the run. If you, again, make sure you go and watch the highlights. It was phenomenal. Again, beating the likes of the pace of Alexander Arnold and Jordan Henderson. Quick little pass into Lookman on this left, again, exposing Matip because he's in his own area at the moment. It wasn't enough. This run that he did, the pace we've not really seen from Lookman, but he has that burst and hopefully, again, 2 goals in 2 now. Hopefully, he can push it up and to the next level. On this left-hand side, he seems to really, really thrive, which is fantastic to see. But Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, a quick pass over to Lookman, and then we all know what happens next. Nice ball in and strikes into the back of the net, makes it 1-0 at about 58, 59 minutes. Phenomenal play on this side. Again, it started all the way in our half, and it was a beautiful counter-attack. Some brilliant play from the likes of Lookman and Dewsbury Hall and Luke Thomas to get the ball in the back of the net. And at that point, Brendan Rodgers decides to change tactics, which we'll get into now. So that was part number 4. Part number 5, we're going to look at the formation change. So Brendan Rodgers went from that 4-4-2 diamond / 4-3-1-2 in attack, when changed it up to a 4-3-3, but surprisingly out of attack, 5-4-1. We'll look at it a little bit more now. Since we got our shot on target, this was the formation we were playing. As you can see, what Mark Albrighton comes on for Maddison. Again, Mark Albrighton deserves a shout. Phenomenal defense. Bearing in mind, Maddison comes off one of probably our brightest player in the last few matches. Has been unbelievable, alongside KDH and Daka and a few other people. But he's pushing into this right back position. So we're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see these 4 at the back. It's 5 at the back, and then a front 4. So we're settling for that goal. But there's the defensive work they had to do was fantastic. Lookman dropping into this left wing position, or like left wing, but left to the back situation. Dewsbury Hall then pushing into the centre. Yuri Tillemans then coming on as well, and Samore. So these 4 really, really well drilled, allowing no space because Keita come on, and as we know from the previous game against Liverpool, he was fantastic when he came on. So you got this 5-4-1 formation out of possession. What this allowed us to do is contain Liverpool as much as possible. So you look at the likes of Salah, you've got Luke Thomas here, worried about this person, but obviously then Ndidi can get touch tight to him as well. Not allowing them to have any space in any room. Super, super compact, which is just what we want to see, especially when we didn't really create too many opportunities. And since we've scored one, we've got the opportunity to seal all 3 points. So again, further on in the match, when we're out of possession of the ball, you can also see, again, the 5 at the back formation, 4, and then your 1 with Vardy. So again, once they broke, you've got the likes of Dewsbury Hall running up this side. You've got Lookman then coming over on the left-hand side as well, with the likes of Albrighton as well. Out of possession is playing right back, but in possession with the 4-3-3 is playing a winger upside, right next to Vardy and alongside the wing. It was beautiful to watch because that work rate and of every single player in the team was fantastic to see, and also allowed us to neutralize these 3 in terms of Mane, Jota, and Salah. 3 of the most prolific goal scorers in the Premier League this season, with Salah being by far and away the best. Then Jota was second, Jamie Vardy in third, and then I think Sadio Mane in about 6th or 7th. So again, just one more example. As you can see, Mark Albrighton tucked into this wing-back position, allows Daniel Amati to break through the middle, Ndidi, and then Castagna playing the 3rd centre-back role that we know he can do with. So you've got the main people, especially these 2, Jota and Salah, marked out of the game. You've got Alexander Arnold free, which obviously is quite threatening, but you've got to have somebody to get it into. This formation, this 5-4-1, similar formation, if you watch, that we played against, the same formation that we played with different personnel against Man City for the 6-3. I know we lost, but Brendan Rodgers knows this is a formation we're going to come into. I was surprised to see Vestergaard not drop into there, but I'm guessing that's the reason, because that was the whole point of him. I think the reason why we can't do that is because we use all 3 subs up. Maddison have to go on, mine have to go off, Brighton has to come on, but at the same time, massive, massive credit to the team and the way they defended. And the tactics, Brendan got them absolutely spot on. Bearing in mind, this is a makeshift defense. You're looking at the likes of out of possession. You've got none of these guys will be playing if everybody else is fit, and doesn't have COVID and injuries. But massive shout out to the team. They've been phenomenal. So there's your 5. Here's a special one. for you. So I could have focused on quite a few people for this one. Who do I think would deserve it? Well, I'm going to choose one man. It's Luke Thomas. We've talked about Dewsbury Hall. Maddison was fantastic. And Iheanacho was fantastic. But something that a player that we don't see very often do this, but something I really noticed when I was watching it in the replay. 34 minutes and 13 seconds. Again, if you've got Amazon Prime or whatever you've got, rewind it and you'll be able to see what I mean. The ball comes loose over this ball's coming from Maddison over to Vardy, 34 minutes. Then Castagna decides to make this bombing run. We do not see it very often, especially with him playing in the back three or playing as right back. We don't see him play this position as much. However, the run that he makes, bearing in mind, look at the distance between him and Vardy at the moment. And we know how quick Vardy is. But there's a huge space in the middle, and it's a perfect opportunity for Castagna to get into position. Just a couple of seconds later, Vardy is here on the edge of the box. Castagna, and then this is the time where Castagna backheels it into the path of Vardy, who puts it, and where Joel Matip comes in and saves the ball. But the gap that Castagna covered and the engine in the workhorse has got to be something that's mentioned. This save was, again, it was a good block by Matip at the end. However, what a run from Castagna, and something that didn't get picked up on. He doesn't do it a lot, but because when we first got him, he was doing it a lot more. Now that he's done this, we know that he's got it still in the tank, and he picks his moments, and his timing was phenomenal. Anyway, guys, it's a little bit different for you, something a little bit more in that analytics. It took me quite a while to set up, so I appreciate if you like, subscribe to all that kind of good stuff. I've enjoyed doing this. It was nice to watch Leicester win for once, and win quite convincingly with a decent defensive performance. Again, there's still improvements to be made in terms of defending set pieces, but we're a hell of a lot better than where we were. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you all for the Norwich preview. So goodbye.